have to turn it on?
I think it's on.
Oh.
Do you hear me?
You can hear yourself
Yes.
echoing.
Welcome. Meet the stars.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
Ashley Green and Robert Pattinson. Very nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you very
First
much.
time in Sweden.
My first time.
Me too, yeah.
Great to have you here.
Thank you.
My name is Cissi Wallin. You don't hear me? Yes? And I'll be hosting this thing. Very nice to have you here. I think you've done this before, so it's just raise your hand so I can see it, and then let's begin. Okay?
I need to...
Alright, I don't get one.
Do you hear me?
I mean, we can hear
I
you.
think we
but
can
I
just
don't
hear you
know.
anyway.
Yeah, we can hear you.
That's the most important thing.
Obviously, you know, our top magazine is a youth magazine in Norway. I was just wondering, how would you cope with the fame now when the Twilight movie came out?
Well, I think we were both kind of terrified. Whenever it first started happening, we had no idea what was going on or how to react or what we were supposed to do just because it was all so brand new to us, and I think it all happened rather quickly. I think the only difference now is probably just that, you know, I think we've just kind of learned how to cope with it a little bit better. I mean, it's still kind of a bizarre thing, honestly, but I think after a while you kind of figure out how to deal with it a little more gracefully.
Better at dealing with fame? Yeah, I mean, it's easier if you're not... once you get used to the places where you're living in and you find little areas where you can live a relatively normal, sane life, then it gets a lot easier. Because at the beginning you just try and live the exact same life you were living before, and you can't. So, you know, trying to do the same things, it becomes very stressful and you don't really know where the other world is. And then you find the secret world behind what everyone thinks is real.
Secret passageways.
Thank you. Yes?
I'm Nico Pellius from Finnish newspaper, Ruusuman.
What do you think it tells about our times that romantic stories about vampires who are basically blood-sucking beasts are popular, not just in the Twilight series, but also in other works as well?
What makes it popular?
What does it tell us about our times that, sorry. What does it tell us? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of, it's always, I don't think there's ever been such a, what's the word, like kind of, like wide-reaching obsession with vampires before. I mean, there's been periods where there have been popular vampire movies, but it's never like, I mean, there are about 6 series that just came out after Twilight. I mean, it's completely bizarre. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's something to do with the people's obsession with looks and fading youth and stuff, and I think it's a great excuse for people to say, like, we need to have every single character 17 years old. Like, if they're mothers, fathers, grandparents, anything, they got to be 17. Because that's the audience. So I think that's why, I guess, money people are really into it. You know, it's like those bands in Mexico when they have to fire everyone when they get to 18. Like the boy bands. Like, it's kind of the same thing.
Thank you. Orange.
Hello, I'm representing Finnish broadcasting company radio station PX. Twilight is a huge phenomenon. What do you think people will think of the movies in 10 years, and what would be the thing you would remember most?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
You go.
In 10 years,
Hopefully they like it just as much as they do now.
I mean, it's a thing. I think I hope, it seems like for a lot of people it's very, it's going to symbolize a 5-year period of time, or a 10-year period of time since the books came out. I mean, it's, I hope, like, people remember it, like, you know, you kind of, there are series when I was younger that, like, you know, it's a completely different thing, but, like, there used to be this series called Sharp with Sean Bean, and, like, that symbolizes for me being, like, 12 or 13 years old. I mean, I remember every Sunday watching this thing, so, I guess, you know, a lot of people from a generation will remember these from 2008 to 2012 as the twilight years, maybe. That's a terrible answer. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
That's a hard question.
And what would we remember about it? I don't know. I mean, it's like a hugely momentous moment in my life. I mean, it's kind of, it's the transition from being a total failure into, you know, having some kind of idea what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. So I guess, yeah, I'd probably be dead by now.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll answer the next question.
Hi, my name is Daria, and I'm a representative from SF Cinema and our cinema club. And my question is more about your fans. We had fans coming from Sweden and Denmark and Norway to get a hold of the family tickets for this evening, VIP seats. And they stood in the rain for about 3 days in the campus outside the cinema. So I just wanted to know if you want to say something to them, because they're really excited. Actually, standing in line outside the arena since this morning as well.
That's insane. I mean, gosh, no, in a really beautiful, great way, but I mean, thank you. I think, you know, that's one of the things that we'll probably remember the most from the previous question too. We'll probably remember the fans and just how passionate they were and how incredible they've been, because, I mean, that just kind of goes to show you how much they care about this franchise and our characters, and that's something that is really special to me because I love the franchise and I love the characters, and so yeah, it's really a great feeling to know that our fans are still so excited about what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think the majority of people wouldn't stand in the rain for 5 minutes for anything, and and it seems so consistent that people will do almost anything for getting a ticket to. I mean, also, it's not even watching the movie. It's like, I mean, it's probably going to be the biggest disappointment of their lives.
Say that.
Like, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the people who wait out in the rain and everything, the ones who've been driving the whole series from the beginning. It's the only reason any of the movies exist. So it's, yeah, they're pretty cool.
I actually camped here for 3 days for this event.
You did.
Thank you very much. Let's see.
No, I don't think any of us expected it to be this big, honestly. I think it's kind of one of those things that you can't even imagine, really, or even think up. I mean, I think we all had ambitions and aspirations of what we wanted to do and what we would have liked the film to be, but it's just insane what it turned into. I mean, it turned into this phenomenon, and there's not a lot of things that you can say that about. So I don't think we really had any idea. I think, to be honest, most of us were just happy to have a job and to be employed. And then, you know, actually really quickly, it just kept escalating, and there was all this hype around it, and we kind of really didn't even know what was going on, and it was this crazy whirlwind, and we were all kind of looking at each other saying, what is going on here? So it was a really, really pleasant surprise, I think.
Thank you.